thinking of creating drum samples of my own always kind of scared me or made me feel very inadequate to do something like that and to create something like that for people. Almost kind of like, what do I have to give for samples, But very periodically people would email me and ask or message me and say, hey man, do you have samples? I'd love to get your snare sample. I'd love to, have some samples from such and such album or whatever else. And it made me kind of think about what I love about snares, toms, kicks, samples, and yeah, I started to actually kind of process how my mind thought about that stuff. And it was really, really cool for me to kind of realize, man, I think about a dry sample, completely unprocessed, giving someone, like taking the exact snare I recorded an album with, and then giving them the exact raw samples so they can start from ground zero and create whatever sound they're looking for. And they know that that was the starting point for that album snare sound, this snare. That started making me pumped. And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, man, I don't want to just do like cool, affected, big reverb samples that you just want to trigger from a sample pad or whatever, or an 808 drop. And I mean, those things are cool. But I also felt like if I did that, it'd be missing so much of what I think about when I'm thinking about drum sounds and how I tune and why I pick the snares I pick, and even the snare chains and the metal. That all affects so greatly what the snare emotionally creates. And it just started making me inspired to think about what would Luke Anderson's drum packs be if I did release something. So I started the process, and I'm very super humbled and super honored and excited to be releasing, coming soon, my very first drum pack with multi-tracks. We had a great conversation, a great meeting, and we both just felt like it was a great step to start this process of me offering sample packs of many different kinds. But yeah, and I love the fact that I will be giving you like raw samples, completely raw, of snares that I think are my favorite snares in the whole world. And then also processing those snares, adding reverb or compression and EQ, and you having that sample also. And then also having like a very reverbed out version of that same snare. So you kind of have the whole span of what that snare can do and what it is. And also with raw, it leaves you with the capability of creating whatever you want kind of out of that. Yeah, very, very pumped. And as we go, I want to keep giving you more information and kind of my thought process behind different sample packs that come out. And yeah, I'm just very excited for you guys to get to experience this, and hopefully it helps create creatively wise for you guys, inspiration and just maybe even motivation for you to do something that seems a little bit beyond your means, or keep pushing for something where you're not quite there yet, but maybe this will just give you a little bit more inspiration to say, all right, I'm going to do something that I didn't think I was adequate to do, and it's not a cocky thing, it's a humbling thing when you're like, wow, someone's actually asking for my snare sample, or someone's asking me for like my tom. So I'm like, that just does not, like, do they know it's me who they're asking that I'm like, yeah, it's fun and humbling, and it kind of brings you back down to reality of like, wow, okay. Yeah, so just stay on the lookout for when that's released. And yeah, really excited for you guys to have a chance to see my product as it is developed and as it continues to grow over the next few years.